Tuning in to Chaos Culture Radio, dropping knowledge in the studio you already know.
Chaos Culture Radio, and we back once again.
Yes, we is. This your man, Hakeem. This is your man.
This is your man. Hey, listen, let me tell you something. I feel especially happy because you want to know why?
Why?
We got our boy back for another episode.
We do? I thought
Episode.
he hanged up. He's still on the line.
No, he's still episode 8. Because you know, finding him is like looking for the Secret Service. You feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Bro, he was like, yo, next week, and then next week. We finally got him back.
No, but I appreciate it. Listen, soon enough, we're going to have to do a live show in D.C. with him.
Yes.
Getting there probably with the coats and the scarves. You know what I'm saying? Live on television. You know what I'm saying?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Man,
Great to see you back, JP, man. How's it going, man?
I appreciate y'all having me again. It's definitely warm up here, so if y'all want to bring coats and scarves, we're going to be sweating it out. Y'all, like I said before, y'all have no idea how important Chaos Culture Radio is because we need a space where we can talk openly and feel comfortable to do that.
No, you're right. You're right.
Definitely. For black men.
For black men. Hey, Hakeem and JP, this is the issue. You know, today's topic is really hitting home because, you know, a lot of men, especially black men, is having a hard time with these black women. Because it seems like they say they want a nice guy. They want a guy that's going to be there, and they want a guy to be supportive or whatever the case may be. But it seems like they keep getting disrespected. Why is that? Yeah, go ahead.
That was for JP or me?
No, both of y'all. I said, why is that? Why?
I'm going to let JP take over.
Okay. Hey, and the question you were saying, why are they passing up?
Yeah, why are they passing up? It's because you see the guy, he's trying to be supportive, the guy trying to be nurturing, the guy trying to protect them, but it seems like they keep getting disrespected.
Well, I can only speak from my experience, and my experience from, you know, elementary school going up. You know, I was raised in a household with a father and a mother, right? And so what I've noticed with black women is that they have been committed to picking the guy who is, you know, I guess they describe him as more fun. But what we know is that it's an individual, and no shot at him, but it's an individual who seems to get in more trouble, who's in the street, who a lot of people, you know, consider to be the more thuggish type of dude in their early years. And what they end up doing is getting a relationship with this dude. And this guy usually is the person who a lot of women want, right? And so now you get hard dealing with him because he's dealing with multiple women at the same time, and you get your feelings hurt and take it out on all black men. So I think, you know, they say girls just want to have fun, but too much freedom is not a good thing.
Man, you could say that again loud.
Yeah, he could, but
you could say that again
bombs,
loud,
man.
bro.
I always had a bomb sound.
Bro, let me tell you something. I've had a big issue with what you're saying. JP, let's be honest about
yeah.
You grew up with a mom and dad in the house, JP?
Yeah, I grew up with my dad and my stepmom.
Okay, perfect. We all grew up with mother and parents, so we grew up a different type of way. Now, mind you, I strayed away a little bit more because you want to know why. My initial approach was not working.
Right. Oh, yeah. That's a whole
That's a whole nother story. So to the point where, like, I became the bad boy.
Yeah.
I became aggressive.
Yeah.
I've had women who flat out told me that I was too.
Yeah.
You're not my type. Besides the whole look situation, that's a whole nother aspect of black women are very vain when it comes to, and Kevin Samuel very specific said this. We don't have to be the fine ones. You do.
Right.
Cause you know what I'm trying to say? So it comes to the point where like, and we're not even talking about this whole thing. I don't know if you ever heard of the term called leftover women that are used in China and in India.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of these women who are passing up men like me, you, and them because we're not making the financial point. But the point is that we're not that archetype of what they're looking for or what they, and it's kind of disparaging because, you know what I'm saying, in a sense that since we all grew up in a patriotic situation, because I want the same thing my dad want, but the thing about it is, and you have a lot of kids these days and men who are starting to think that maybe it's not with a black, because to be honest with you, you can't physically it's hard to get a date now on a dating app with a black woman if you don't look
but
like
I kind of disagree with you because you talking about you're a black nationalist and you tell me you ain't gonna date no black woman.
But let me ask you a question. My views are black. I might have to date a black woman that's not Americanized.
Okay, that makes more sense, but as long as she has to be black, because then people gonna call you hypocritical.
I could still be Black Nash, but here's the thing: am I going to die alone?
No.
Yeah. No.
Answer that.
No, I
Am
ain't
I
gonna die alone, JP.
and
You
I'm
got
going to
somebody
die
on the
alone?
side.
Am I going to
Hell
die
no.
alone? Listen, if a woman is not going to get on my program, then what?
Right.
I mean, listen, you should speak for how many times we try to get a lot of these chicks on our program and they say no, they want to be the man.
I agree. That way you tell them goodbye and keep it moving. That's their problem, not mine.
You know what it is? Black women are very prideful. They're more prideful than men are now. They're extremely prideful. And I noticed because I have a lot of female friends, and when I talk to them, like my last homegirl, I got into it with her. I had to tell her. I said, you know what your problem is? You don't know when to shut your fucking mouth. I had to say it like that. I don't talk to women like that, but it got to the point where I had to say it like that. See, damn, is that serious that JP had to get out of character and say that? And guess what she did? She shut her mouth. I said, y'all don't know when to stop talking. That's the problem.
No, but JP, look at your masculinity came out. You became a man.
But
That's
he shouldn't have to be like that, though. He shouldn't have to be like that. You should just have to
I can't. Black women are built differently. Even in ancient Kemet, black women are.
No, that's a lie. That's a lie, bro.
Built.
Big Mama, listen. Big Mama and them wasn't doing what these girls are doing now.
But you have to mold them, Hakeem. You have to mold the woman into what you want.
We don't have time for it.
Nah, I don't. That's a lot of
full of crap. I think you full of crap because you gotta make time. And you want your queen to be the way you want her to be. You gotta have to put in work.
Let me ask you a question. How do you have time to train a woman and also taking care of the world and paying all the bills? Tell me where you find that time.
No, I'm telling you.
Tell me where you find that time.
I think you know, look, we do it on podcast. Even when it past our time, we still make it work. I mean,
that's a podcast. We following our dreams. When do you have time to do 12 hours a day and come home and to instruct a woman how to be a woman for you?
Right.
You can make. I'm not saying as a man, you already know. As a man, there's no excuses. Man can work up to 80 hours a week, excuses. 90 hours a week. There's no excuses for a man.
That's following your dream. A woman has to be already on her program. She has to follow you. Then you might not be listening to Kevin Samuels.
No, but most men. No, I do listen to Kevin Samuels.
But
however, there's some things I don't agree with Kevin Samuels all the time with because if a man, let's say for example, if a man taking care of all the needs, all the bills, everything like that, the woman might end up still cheating on that man. End up still cheating on that man with a guy like you, JP, and some other people where we don't really do nothing less for the woman. And the man taking care of all the bills, doing whatever he got. You don't want to sleep for her for free.
Let's get something straight. What you're saying, you're speaking about a high value man. We're not high value men. I'm not. I'm a blue collar worker. So that doesn't apply to me. So I'm not going
saying that as an example.
No, that you can't exclaim that example because we're not going to chase women that's chasing money.
Fair enough. Yeah.
That's you know what I mean? That's the difference. So, but the point I'm trying to say is this: Maylene, Marisol, Karen. As soon as I don't know if you ever dated a white woman or been around them. As soon as they come around, they on program.
Oh yes. Like
because you know why? Because most of the time, their fathers in their lives. That's the number one thing. Black women don't have fathers in their lives. Their fathers are incarcerated or dead.
So let me ask you a question.
Or the mama kicked them out. So whose fault is that? It's not the woman's fault. It's the father and their mother who not allowed it. Go ahead.
So that means we have to take a Build-A-Bear and build it on the spot?
But the people don't understand when you marry somebody. I remember I have a conversation with a man or a friend of mine. I was telling him that when you get a wife, she now becomes her father. You the one that's got to coach her. You the one that got to train her. You gonna have the one that have to retrain her again. Even though most men don't like that, but that's a part of manhood. That's why they call it leadership. Then
I'm going overseas, man. I can't do that. I don't got time for that.
Even then, Hakeem, the women overseas are being trained right now by their fathers and by their mothers. The problem with the African American women that's in the United States, that's westernized, they don't have their fathers in their life. That's the number one. That's the problem. That is the problem. And JP, you guys be attest to that. If their father was in their life like the white woman father is in their life, you would see the difference.
I think it does make a difference. I think it does. But it also depends on who that man is, and you know, because you can have a father in the house and he not actually be active in terms of teaching and training their daughters. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I've heard at a Kevin Samuels show where women was like, "My dad ain't," because you know why? Women make men feel guilty for telling them the truth. They don't like to hear the raw truth of how we actually think, and so men just pacify them as young women. And they grew up naive thinking it's one way when really it's not. It's another way.
Right. And I know a lot of people, because I know a lot of people now falling into this and that. I would say some of the stuff he's saying is true, is factual. But some of the stuff he's saying as well, he's thinking from a level of man when it comes to financial resources. And and it happened to me too. You can have the money to take care of these women, but if you're not a man, meaning that if you don't know how to put your foot down, you don't know how to get direct orders. That woman would take everything you got, and that's a problem I have with his context, because he's telling man to get 6 figures. The man's are getting 6 figures, and yet the women are still disrespecting them.
No, that means you dealing with a woman who's not following your program.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. But what his platform teaching is, he's teaching men to, like, you gotta have money, you gotta have all this. And I'm saying that's not a bad thing. That's good. A man should have those things. But it's more to a man just those things. A man has to have like you, Hakeem, like you, JP. Y'all men have a leadership within inside of you that are able to dictate these women on what to do. Most of the men now, they feel like, oh, I got money, I got the cars, I got this and that. And the women are dogging the hell out of those, where they're going outside of themselves. And like you said, they're getting a white woman, or they're going overseas to get women. They're afraid of the woman or westernized women here in the United States. I'm not afraid of these women because I know what. Go ahead.
It's not being afraid. It's just that they don't want to deal with the headache. You might like headaches. You might like a challenge.
It's not about headache.
I don't want a challenge. No. You said being afraid. Nobody's afraid. Nobody's afraid of none of these babbit ass chicks here. We just not willing to deal with the problem. I'm not going to go to an early death.
Yeah.
Because that shit is stressful. You got to deal with white supremacy. You got to go to work. You got to do all this for you to come home and train your woman. I'd rather train a dog.
And that's why what's the key word you always say? Go get a dog, because the woman is able to train the dog. I'm going to tell you, it's a man's job to train the woman.
No, it's not a man's job to train the women. I'm telling you, I'd rather go. No, she has to be on go as soon as she get with you, bro. That's not it. That's not it.
Okay. I think you got to take a nuanced approach, because I feel like it can kind of go both ways. I do agree with Ronnie in terms of, you have, as a man, as a leader, you have to have a certain approach with your woman to kind of, I don't want to say train or teach, but kind of mold her in such a way that she responds to you. But at the same time, there's limits to that. There's some women who just don't want to be cooperative, and they go too far. And that's where Hakeem is. So there is a balance that has to happen within these women. And I feel like it has to do with maturity. Women, they talk about men don't mature as fast as women. And sometimes I don't think that's true. Like, I feel like there's a lot of women who are in their 30s that are still not very mature. And they
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. They be women, I feel like they use that as a big, like, women are very mature, and that's not always the case. I feel like,
and another thing, let me point this out real quick, sorry. But another thing I hear from Black women, and I see it in the dating profiles online, they say, oh, come healed already, or come, if you got mama issues or ex issues. But what Black women don't take into account is we all need therapy. They need it too. They keep saying it's just us. No. I didn't ran through a lot of these women in terms of, like, going through the online dating, and it's a lot of Black women that are not suitable for a relationship or marriage that don't even recognize it. They're not aware. So they need to go get some more of that counseling that they say Black men need too.
Okay, for example, because I can't say I'm going overseas to get a woman. He just used that as an analogy. Like, this example, he don't want to do the headache. I'm going with a woman overseas, this and that. Okay, like, for example, if all of us go right now to the Dominican Republic, we can find the woman what we're looking for. Because number one, what they're going to see? They're going to see, number one, we have the financial resources, because how the hell we got the Dominican Republic? They're going to see he got money. And number two, he's a good looking guy. These guys are well fit, they look good, they very sharp. They're going to see all that aspect. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Women see the out. The women is programmed to see the out. Men are programmed to see the inward. That's why I say it's a man's job to coach and mentor the woman. That's why a lot of women nowadays, when they get a man like us three that's very intelligent, that's very articulate, they able to submit themselves to us because they able to see that these guys are going to lead me to the right way. And that's one of the reasons why the Nation of Islam, where I really agree with some of their principle when it comes to mentoring women, is because they're teaching you how to guide you to the right way. Right or wrong, Hakeem, because Hakeem subscribes to the Nation of Islam. He will tell you the women are very submissive, very attentive. They listen to their man because the man's going to guide them to the right way. Most of the time, every time you talk to a Black woman, the number one thing I always hear, what they always tell me, he don't know how to lead.
But you're talking about women who was raised in a culture.
No, I can't. These are women in the hood. They tell me the number one thing. I talk to these women. They tell me the number one thing a black man don't know how to do. He don't know how to lead.
Let me ask you a question. How can a woman who didn't have a father in the house tell you how a man's supposed to?
Oh, I give a perfect example because I tell you, women are very visual. They go by social media.
No, that don't make no sense. And they go by
reading books.
That's not right. That's not
that doesn't even make no sense. If you never had a man,
it doesn't make no sense. But that's the true fact, and they go by what they see around.
If they go by what they seeing very wrong. That's not how a man leads. And social media at the time is not always half true.
I agree with you. No, I totally agree with
you. If you did
not
have a man in the house,
how you give them the definition of a man? They go by social media.
Yeah, if you did not have a man in the house, you cannot understand or remotely have nerve to open up your mouth and say a man never had a man. And just
and not only that, I can't mean to cut you off. Then we gotta use this point too. Where's the women at most of the time every Sunday? They're in the church. Who's leading the church? A man.
That still don't mean.
Depends on age too. You talk about generational divide. I don't know where black millennial women be at, but I don't see the church like that.
No, I'm talking about. I'm just showing it in the sense of this argument because most of the time the black woman is in the church. More black women is in church now than ever before, even during the pandemic.
Well, it ain't helping.
That's the problem because it ain't helping. And not only that, they say the black man has left the church. There's an article out right now on NSNBC. I was reading it the other day. They were talking about how more black men has leaving the church more and more every year. They are leaving the church because they feel like the church is not benefiting the man anymore. It's mostly benefiting the women. That's why there's more black women in the church now. That's why they say, you want to get a girl? What everybody always say, go to the church house, man. Down 54th Street, 7th Avenue.
No, that's the wrong place to go get a.
No, but I'm just saying as a sake of this argument, that's what most people say. Go to church, man. You're going to get a nice woman. You're going to get a nice woman. Just go to church.
No. The church is worse to find. That's where you'll find most of it in the garden.
Black men now ain't talking about God no more. Like black men now, like no, they started. You know what black men say now? Now they say I'm God. I'm a son of God. They out here trying to do work. You know, but most of them they go to church, and I'm speaking facts here.
I mean, you could look at the relationship dynamic, the recent event with Eric Jackson and his wife. A lot of these women, and I've dated a woman who was very much so a Christian. They're out of touch. They're like, they just are like on another level when it comes to like relationships that most black men are just not on that. They're not on what they on these.
Did you smash?
Yeah, we was in a relationship, absolutely. But guess what she tried to do? Guess what she tried to do after? She wanted to go celibate. That's where it went left.
Oh, okay. They always, when I heard they use that card, JP, is because they lost attraction for you, so they're like, I'm going celibate. That's what they always say.
What it was that she realized, like, the situation is good. Like, sexually is good, but if I keep letting this happen, I'm going to lose my logical side to where I'm only just thinking about dick. So I want
please. I want a black girl, please.
Yes, absolutely. She's trying to get to a point of marriage, so she want to put that on the back burner because, like, women get dickmatized. That's just what it is.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is, the less you put out, the less you can marry.
Yeah.
I want to be like, please.
Woman, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
You're talking about for a woman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's why I say a woman think that withholding sex is obtaining rings. No.
That's the key to getting single, being single.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
If you're not
because women feel like that's like I would say some of the points I do agree with Kevin Sullivan. He did say women do have the keyhole to sex. That's the thing. Like that's the only power they have. For men, we have so many aspects to ourselves. That I'm saying we are so powerful. The problem is, man has forgotten how powerful we was because of like I always say, social media is a big part of the downfall of the generation, especially for the black men. Especially for the black men. Because black men back then, that's why I see it when I always tell me and Hakeem have a discussion, JP, all the time. And we always talking about back in the 1950s and the 1960s, there was men. The women was quiet. The women listened to them. They were telling the women what to do. And I'm like, what the hell happened? And everybody was telling me it was a civil rights movement. It was this. It was a feminist movement. It was this that destroyed the household.
Yeah, because of the access to resources for women to where, like I said before in the last segment, where black women are starting to be equal or outpace black men. That's where the shift happens.
So here's the thing. The world has gotten so modern now where that, and mind you, we're not only going through India has over 7 million, Korea, single women, and it's starting to collapse.
Yeah.
The welfare system there, because if you're unmarried, You know what I mean? They didn't factor in social services for single. You know what I mean? Because careers are very, very. So now when you have, since the world has been so modern and a lot of women able to careers and they're outpaced, they're looking at a man, which majority of men do make in this country, and the majority of white men really only makes 2,000. It's only literally 10% or maybe 1% of men. So you got to take it from that point. So it's only going to be detrimental for women in a sense, because the longer they wait, the harder it is for getting them married. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I think that black women need to have a reality check with the numbers, because men lie, women lie, numbers don't. If the numbers say this is what your man make, and you are on a different planet in terms of what you think they should be making, like it's only to your detriment. Because like you said, on the flip side, if black women not acting right.
Hello. I think he cut off. JP, you here?
You here?
I think he cut off. Hold on. I think he lost signal because his face is there.
No, definitely.
I be hating that when we be getting good, something like cuts off or something drop off, you know. No, but I'm telling you, Hakeem, that's the thing that I think he got to get back on. You got to wait till he gets back on. I hope his phone didn't die. No, but that's the biggest thing I will tell you, Hakeem. I would say some of the stuff. Yeah, see, he logged out, so we got to wait till he comes back in. Probably let me hit him up on the tell him to log back in. You can pause. Can you edit it? How can you edit it? Can you edit it back where we left off?
Yeah, definitely. That's why I'm not even sweating it.
No, but it was some of the things, I ain't gonna lie, Hakeem, some of the stuff, I just try to Kevin Samuel, but some of the stuff I don't. Because I'm telling you, teaching men to get all this money in the bag. The man get the bag, and you know, these women gonna use these men. You already know, Hakeem, they're gonna use them up. There you go.
Here you go.
Hey, y'all.
Go ahead.
Your phone, man.
It got too hot, and I got kicked out because of what I just said. Nah, bro, we got to give you a break. You're going too hard.
Yeah, but go ahead. Yeah, but go ahead. Go what you say when you left off.
No, I was just saying, if black women don't have that reality check with the numbers, they're gonna lose out. Because at the end of the day, a black man will go and find another woman. He's gonna find another vagina in a different race that's gonna act right.
Preach. And that's the point that I was going to try to say. I say initially what happens, and let me tell you something, a lot of white men, what do a lot of them do when they can't find a woman? They go overseas.
They go overseas.
And they bring their women back. And that typically what happens, a large majority of them stay with this guy until death. You feel me?
Right.
Particularly why a lot of these guys go to Asian countries. Yeah. They get with Asian women and stuff like that. So do you think?
My family.
Huh?
I got it in my family.
Okay. Thank you.
No, but I want to take now. Now I'm here now. A lot of men say they might the way we go, we might end up doing polygamy.
Yeah. I'm asking. That's inevitable. That's going to happen. But I'm just saying for the most part of just wanting to be in a family. Like a lot of us who groom to be in a family, we're going to strive for it. You feel me? No matter what you're going to do. So me personally, I'm not going to be by myself, and I'm not going to be so loyal that I'm going to have to die alone.
Mm-hmm. No, you're not going to. The man on this platform, we're not going to die alone.
No. But did you hear what I'm trying to say? Do you hear what I'm trying to say? Meaning that if I can't find a black woman that's going to be on my program, because let me tell you something. If she's running the show, you have no relation.
Man,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say they don't understand that concept. I just was saying something the other day, and the problem is when women hear what you just said, my program, they think servitude, and that's not what we talk about. We're not talking about not respecting or not letting you have any say. So that's not what we're saying. We're just saying we believe in the traditional household because when we were in the traditional household, we were doing better. That's like if you go back to the 30s, the 40s, where a black woman was having like 10 kids, the man was out there, they was all in the farm or whatever. The household was stable.
Oh my God.
Preach.
Black women wait until 35 to find this man. They ain't got no kids, or they having kids super early by multiple men. There is no stability. So it got to be on our program because we're the logical ones. You're not thinking right.
You're not thinking right.
And the other day on Facebook, my bad not to cut you off, but the other day on Facebook, I said, like, a lot of people have brought into the notion of happy wife, happy life. That's not how it works. It's happy husband, happy life. And
I was telling Hakeem that
as a husband, your responsibility to make sure you don't abuse that position, right? You're supposed to do right by your woman, your kids, but they're supposed to honor you because we're the ones taking all the risk financially. We're the ones giving up our biological desire to have multiple women. We're the ones taking the risk. So my happiness is essential.
JP, you gonna love this one here. The other day I was having a discussion with a woman, and I was telling her that you gonna do what I say, and then she was like, "What?" Because she was just curious. She like, "I gotta do what you say." I said, "Yeah, you gonna do what I say." And she was like, "Why?" Because I told her my wisdom, my knowledge is not just my wisdom, my knowledge. My wisdom, my knowledge come from God. If you subscribe to the Bible, they even tell you to say God, first is God, then Christ, then man, then woman, then child. That's the order of life. That's how everything in the order is. You're like, well, I don't subscribe to the Bible. I say you subscribe to ancient Kemet, same thing. If you subscribe to this, same thing. If you subscribe to Hindu, Buddha, it's the same thing. The man is the head. Why do you see why they say the man is the head? The man is the head because the head, even in the human body, the head is able for the body to function.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
One thing I was just gonna say. James Brown said it's a man's world, but it wouldn't be done without a. You have a role in this world, but it ain't your world. It's a man's world. You have a role.
Okay, here let me mention one of our counterparts, the Chinese man. I was watching earlier about the Chinese man was dating this woman. This is how. And he explained it to the woman. He said that she was saying that a lot of men are chauvinist. He said, understand this. Chauvinism has layers. That's what he said.
It does.
Yes.
He said chauvinism has layers too. He said in a relationship, since I'm going to pay all the bills and I'm going to do this, I want to be the more dominant. Because he said in a family nucleus, when a woman is making more of the shots, she does not respect you.
Exactly.
Calling the shots, she's making the decisions. She's deciding what we do, where we go. Doing this.
Preach.
This is what the Chinese guys say. So he said in his relationship, he wants to be the more dominant, to make more of the more life into that. You know what I mean? And this is the same reason why these Facebook videos of guys on their knees begging women, they're making fun of guys around tax time. You know the videos I'm talking about?
Yes.
Oh, I saw that one. That was pitiful.
Oh, that was pitiful.
He
said, get on the floor. Come back.
Well, I that.
You know what I mean? So this is the main reason where like for us to want a sense of patriarchy, to that, and mind you, I could share, I could share something in a sense personal. I said like dating, and mind you, and I don't know how it is, but JP, dating and
is it really that hard?
I'm being real. Listen, I'm being real with you. I can even go a stretch to say dating in Florida is very hard too. Majority of women dominant are they make fun of you when you don't live by yourself or you're not. Now, mind you, I can't speak for other races and talk to them.
Right, it's always black women.
Black women. Now, mind you, I'm not only talking about ADOS, I'm talking about Haitian.
Cuban. Oh yeah, Caribbean. You talk to a lot.
Here in this place where I'm at the point where I had to remove.
Right.
I'm being very frankly about this because listen here, I don't make $42,000. I meet people who are making 60, 70, 80, 50,000, 30,000, and you have to have the grueling conversation with them. Where do you live? You stay with? What kind of car you drive? Why do you live with your mother? Or this and that, not understanding the situation you're going through.
But Hakeem, you need to start telling these women who it's none of your fucking business. Screw my language. I don't even curse on this podcast. But that's a problem we having as men. I keep telling you. We don't know. We don't put our foot down, Hakeem, because none of their fucking business.
Listen. But it's general conversation. Now let's talk about our counterparts who live right next door to us in Little Havana, in North Miami Beach, in these places where Hispanic. I have a neighbor next door. It's him, his wife, who lives in the house with his mom and dad and brother, with his wife.
Yep.
Okay. Doesn't that says that he's living with his mama too?
Yes. Yes.
Why is it Mighty Soul is okay to, why didn't Mighty Soul judge him for living with his mama? Matter of fact, she moved in with him.
Because blacks, go ahead, JP, you can answer that.
I was going to say because white feminism has some white women that they're chocolate cover white women, and they're not. They're operating from the position of a white woman when they don't realize their black men are not white men. Our positions are not the same. Our situations are not the same. So you got to adapt to your man.
Yo, JP, I want you to answer the question of what is the landscape like in the area. You have more black people there per capita, and black women there make the most. I need you to talk to me about the dating scene, please.
Well, see, I think a lot of people misconstrue it. Like, the thing is this. Miami's an outlier because it's one of the most like wealth and income inequality cities because of the glitz and the glamour. You got the richest of the richest, and you got the poorest of the poor. In an area like this, a lot of people work in government, so a lot of people are able to access, middle class lifestyle more. But what I find is that regardless, black women are pretty much equal everywhere you go in terms of what they're looking for. But it's worse in Miami. I know it is worse in Miami.
My question, I want to ask you guys this question. What is the black woman looking for? Because I already know what they're looking for, but I want to know from you guys' point of view. What is the black woman looking for? I know a lot of guys, especially this topic is hot. So I know a lot of guys, every time we talk about relationship, a lot of guys sit in to our shows. They like love it. They be like, oh, Ronnie, man, y'all relationship advice and stuff is amazing. So for you two guys, what is a black woman looking for?
You know what? I'm gonna go out and say I don't think black women know what they're looking for, because black women will say like, I want stability, but stability for them is something totally different than what we can provide. So I don't think they truly know what they want, or at least they want something that they can't get, not from us.
Hakeem?
When a black woman describe what she wants is a slave.
Hakeem, why you joking around, man?
I'm being real. What she described as a slave, after she done rode the carousel for so long, she goes and settled for a Russell Wilson. And a lot of people don't understand. Real men don't respect Russell Wilson.
Right.
And do you think Sierra's not happy in her relationship? After you done date somebody like Future, you think you're going to be in a relationship that long? I'm just waiting for the divorce and how much the bag she don't win. You don't date nobody.
No, I think I'm not gonna lie. I think she's gonna stay with him because
bro,
that's a slave.
You don't date nobody like Future and have a baby with him and thinking you're gonna be thinking that Russell Wilson is the archetype. She settled for a beta male because she knew she was gonna hit the wall.
Well, I think also that one thing I notice about women in general, or black women, because that's all I know, is that once like they'll date a Future, but once they get to a certain point, they will want like a Russell Wilson type of guy, or at least the stature that he has. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously Russell Wilson I think he's a mixed race, and so he got a lot of white boy in him too. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on in their relationship, but I at least think she appreciates the stability because he is a top tier quarterback, and money overcome a lot of stuff for women. Height or that alphaness. Money overcome a lot for them.
No, you're right.
No, because remember, money is power. When you got money, you got power. That's all it is. Money equals power. That's all it is. And in the aspect, let's keep it real now. When we, like, especially us, when we get money in our hand, what we do? We make the decision like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. It's the same way with a woman. A man has to be able to make the decision. You gotta be able to tell the woman, no, you're not doing this, no, you're not doing that, no, you're not doing this, no, you're not doing that. Most of the time, like Hakeem said, most of the time the man is a slave. I'm not gonna lie. In my previous relationship, even in my past relationship, I'm the one always doing what the woman wants. Okay? And I always get the end of the stick. Now when I start transforming and unlearn everything and relearn again, I'm like, wait a minute. The what I thought about manhood was totally wrong. Cause while I was listening to Hakeem was like, no, Ronnie, listen to the Nation of Islam. Listen to how they talk to their women. Listen to how they coach their women. And I started listening to the Nation of Islam, and I'm like, wait, that's how you supposed to talk to women? And I'm like, yeah. And then when I started doing that, I started getting better results. I'm trying to I'm the one telling women what they want.
Yeah, but that's all within context. Because here's the thing: you're supposed to give a woman everything she wants when she follows the program.
Correct, Hakeem. There you go.
Follows your program. Because listen here, there's a lot of women who are so feminine and submissive.
Yes,
you're gonna want to make her life comfortable. She makes your life comfortable.
They don't get it. They don't get it.
And this is where a lot of women don't understand. But the problem is the issue that we're getting that a lot of these things hit deaf ears because the thing about it is women make up what they think men want. And the thing about that is they need to ask men what they want. Sam says this all the time.
I agree.
And a lot of women are talking about what men want among themselves and not us, especially a lot of the regular guys.
No, but I came most of the time during the dating when a man take a woman on a date, most of the time the man don't really ask them. Most of the time the woman don't ask the man what he wants because most of the time we always ask the woman what do she want.
Oh yeah, because her perceived notion is that you're the man, you're supposed to spend a large amount of money. But where did she get that ideology? She didn't. She probably got it from her mother who tended it and wasn't raised with her parents. Listen, and I tell you this. I've dated other women with other races, from other races. I've dated a Cambodian. I've had interactions with white women. Far totally from when you deal with black women.
I never had an interaction with a white woman, so I can't really speak on it.
I lived in Massachusetts for almost 15 years. You have to peel them off you.
So you and JP had that experience. I never had experience.
You have to peel them off you because you want to know why. Especially if you're a black guy that's educated, you have a little spunk about yourself. And listen, and you're not thuggish. This is what a lot of people fail to understand. White women do not want thugs. Not a lot of them do not want Fuquan.
Unless they hood. It's a lot of hood white girls.
Yes, it is a lot of hood white girls. But I'm talking about the ones who are
with class.
I'm talking about the ones who's willing to do 20, 30, 40 years with you. They don't want them A-straight.
But what about the pay rate? Because a lot of men talking about what about the financial aspect?
Oh no, white women don't care about how much money they just want. You just have to have a little bit of discernment about it. You have to be hardworking and respectful.
It depends on the caliber.
Yeah, it depends on the caliber. But the white women I've seen with and the men I've seen them date, I've never seen them ask their man how much.
I mean, a lot of them just be happy to see.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
like I said, I have a lot of relationships in my family where a lot of my male cousins in the military have met, whether it's a different type of or like a white, but they all of them have a certain like character trait about them, interact with black people very, very comfortable, but at the same time, they're extremely happy that they let you know, like always bigging up, like all of their wives, always like them, and that's something I wanted to say that women don't realize. They're running away from their femininity, but their femininity, their power. That's how you get what you want from a man. If you get that femininity, and he responds to it.
Do you hear that, women? Your femininity is your power. Stop playing around and be feminine. But that's a whole nother topic in itself. Because most women say, I ain't being no feminine. I ain't being no slaves. Trust me. I dealt with a lot all when it comes to the black attitude of a black woman. It's remarkable. You know what I'm saying? But then, as soon as you tell them to shut up, what do you say, JP? He immediately, they be quiet.
It's because they know that they're going too far. And when you say that, it's like, damn, you right.
This is the reason why you have this is the reason why there's black men who are unchildless. You hear that? 53%.
Yeah, on blackdemographics.com.
Yeah, yes. One out of 4 black women is going to marry in their lifetime.
Yeah,
and when they do marry, 80% of them divorce. You don't know what's going through their mind. Some tend to get.
But Hakeem, what are they preaching at? What are they teaching in church? Because most of these women are in church. That's why I keep telling you.
Those are hypocrites. Those are not Christian women. They pretend to be Christian women. A Christian woman is not going to leave her marriage, no matter what she go through.
Man, you gonna get a lot of red flags.
Yeah, they can get mad. Listen, I could bring up a fact. Let's talk about Chris Hogan. You ever heard of Chris Hogan?
I haven't heard.
He's under the Dave Ramsey regime. He had got let go because Dave Ramsey was under some lawsuits. But here's the thing: his wife, let's get it straight. Chris Hogan was out there cheating. That's a fact. But she herself, and I got to give you a caveat to this: she's a white woman. You feel me? Yeah. But under the guidance of their Christian background, she was willing to work out the relationship.
Right.
It was him who didn't want the relationship no more. Now, that'll tell you that when a man leaves a relationship, then it's a lot deeper than what's going on. You feel me?
Right.
So this is what I'm trying to say. This is why you have a lot of women who want this fairy tale lifestyle, and they get this perception saying that, oh, I don't want no man to cheat. Listen, Big Mama and them was getting cheated on. Some of these guys have families across town, but they still stay with their husbands to the end.
And he took care of them.
And this is what I'm saying. You have to know what you want. And that's all I got to, you know what I mean? And that's my end on that.
No, but my biggest thing is now with this dating game with the black woman. The black woman has forgotten where she came from, and now that forgotten who she is. She is a woman. Woman is feminine. A woman is feminine. A woman is submissive. A woman listens to her man, take heed to the guidance. Most of the time with this, now in this Western society, with this social media era, women are now putting their lives on the hand of social media and allowing social media to guide them and to teach them, which is incorrectly. Women has to get back into the way they used to be. On that note, I'm done with that one. Any last word, JP?
I just think that when you focus twice about what they say they want and what the reality is, I think they have come to this moment with themselves about what the reality are capable of.
Oh, on that note, guys, KL Culture Radio.
We out.
Peace.
Man, I just appreciate y'all just listening. Stay tuned for the next episode.